So, what I want to do is I want to get a little bit more specific on the Product Opportunity Explorer. So, when you, first of all, if you log into your Product Opportunity Explorer, Amazon will show you what your niches are, right? So, they pick based on your performance. So, as soon as you click on the niche, depending on which one you select, or you can go find one, you are presented with multiple options. So I want to get a little bit actionable here in terms of how you make use of this data. So right at the top, you can see those big numbers, first of all, your search volume on this particular niche, and the trend that you were talking about. They show the past 180 days, average units sold, the past year, 360 days, return rate, not number of top clicked products. So, and then the average price. So those big numbers, what's the most valuable one to me is if you really want to be a player, you got your 31 ASINs there, right? That I'm seeing. Number one, number of top click products, it shows 31. That to me is exactly what your competition is, right? And then you can go look at those. What is your approach to using these numbers here?
Yeah. So what you're talking about is if you click on the niche and you'll see the niche details, you'll see again, niche is defined as a grouping of the shopper searches. And the first tab that would be open would be products. So this is all of the products that are within this niche, and they're actually ranked based on, from my understanding, it's based on the click share. So basically how much click share of this particular, again, niche. So this is defined as multiple searches. So if you remember brand analytics before, so you would see each individual search, and then you would see the top 3 clicked products for that search,
Right.
which was very helpful. But if you're not within, say, the top 3, well, then you're completely falling out of that search. Now, if you go into search terms, you will see a list of the top 3 clicked products. So it's very much sort of similar to the, kind of original brand analytics. But why I think that this kind of aggregate niche view of all of the top click products is so helpful is, one, it's actually going to show, so how Nick was saying that there's the number of top click products shown here. It actually lists, so in this case, I'm looking at the niche of baby blanket, which again, as I said, is quite broad, but it shows 86 is the number of top click products. And so if I scroll down into this products tab, it shows one of, it's 1 to 25 of 86. So I can see all 86 top click products. It's going to give me things like the image, which is helpful. I can see the ASINs. I can see what brand they're in. So maybe if you want to see like, hey, is this brand dominating this niche? There is a download option for all of these grids, which we, to be frank, had looked at Product Opportunity Explorer, but found it a little cumbersome to work with because there wasn't any really good way to copy the data. Similar to how they released Search Query Performance Report, and everybody was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And then immediately everybody realized there's no good way to get this data out of this dashboard because there's no download button. And then Amazon released a download button, and we're all very pleased with that update. A similar thing happened to Search Query Performance. So we would dive in, we're like, oh, this is interesting. We might take screenshots, but like, okay, I want to take all of, so for example, right, I might want to say, okay, these are the top click products for this particular niche, which is highly relevant to me and I want to go after. So let me download all of these top clicked products, and these, one, am I already targeting them in my advertising? But then 2, if these are some of the top clicked products, which means they have the most traffic coming, again, aggregate of the entire niche, which is helpful. This is not only going to be looking at single search terms. It's going to say within this entire sort of shopper search grouping, these are the products that are getting the most traffic. And so these make fabulous targets for product targeting instead of my advertising. now I have a download button. So I can download these and then use these in my, probably create a campaign around all of these. And then I can say, okay, so these are the ones that have the most traffic. I can also see things like launch date. You can see the niche click count. So how many clicks are they getting? Again, aggregate of all the shopper searches and the clicks through that. Their click share percentage. Here's another great one. The average selling price. Now the average selling price, it's looking at the past 360 days. So it is a longer view, but here's a great way to validate, is there anyone getting a high click share in my space that has a higher price product? Because there's a lot of shoppers who will come into a space and maybe their price, quite a bit above their competition, which again, we all want to make profits. So don't get me wrong, if you can sell at a high price point, it's great. But what happens when that high price point is hurting you in terms of sales volume?